Okay, now I just walked out of the front of the hotel here, and as you can see, there are not too many people here today, but there are a lot of Capitol Hill police, as you can see. How you doing, fellas? Former member of Congress, just getting ready for the inaugural tomorrow. I'm doing fine. I'm from New York. I'm going to walk around and take some films. Okay, so we're down this way, and I'm now going to cross the street and walk to the where the Capitol Hill Club is, and also the roadway to the Capitol. Gentlemen, how you doing? I'm a former member of Congress, Joe DioGuardi from New York, and I'm just taking pictures of this new look down here. I've come to every inaugural since Reagan. I just turned 80, so I'm much older than you guys are. And it's a whole new scene, you know? Unbelievable. So I just wanted to show my friends that this is not America as usual. But it's going to be a great day tomorrow to see the transfer of one administration to another. Thanks for your service. There's the St. Peter's Church that you saw on the film before. Beautiful church built many years ago by the Catholic community here. And I never leave Washington without lighting a candle and thanking God for all that my parents did, having good parents, to get me to a point where I could become a U.S. Congressman after we left the Bronx and moved to Westchester County in 1957, when I became Joey the waiter, working my way through college. Here we have more National Guards people walking up and down. Hello, gentlemen. Former member of Congress from New York, having fun. Yeah, thank you, thank you. Gentlemen, thank you for your service. Former member from New York. I just walked down from the hotel up there. This is the Library of Congress. And this is C Street, and it goes right into here where I used to park my car, but now this is not the time to bring a car to Washington. They told me that I would not be able to get around. So I just want you to see how nice everything is being. Hello, sir. Thanks for your service. People leaving over here. I'm looking at the sun. I don't want to do that. I want to look back here. Okay. Right. Gentlemen, Joe DioGuardi from New York, former member. You may see me, I came here a lot of times. You put me in that parking lot. Good to see you. Thanks for your service. I'll be at the inauguration tomorrow. Thanks for your service, gentlemen. Former member of Congress from New York, Joe DioGuardi. How you doing?
Where in New York, sir?
Westchester County.
Rockland County.
Rockland County. Very close. You're too young. I served in the 80s, though. So, good to see you. And here's the Capitol Hill Club. It's not open right now. This is Tuesday. Wednesday is the inaugural. I'm going to be walking. Well, they can't. Yeah, I could be walking up that street. The Capitol is right over that building there. But I'll probably be going to the Rayburn Horseshoe because they want us to go across from the Rayburn on Pennsylvania Avenue to where our seats are. And that should be nice. But look at this, Capitol Hill Club. Now closed, but it's opening up on Thursday, and I'll be there to say hello to the people. What I want to do is I want to capture or recapture my past, because I stayed at that Capitol Hill Hotel, and then I moved into an apartment just around the corner here. That's the congressional parking lot. And when I come down with the Albanians, we park over there. And now I'm going to make the turn here so you could see the apartment I lived in when I was in Congress. And that was from about the June of 1985 until I bought a townhouse down here, which is right across the street from it. One congressman went bankrupt and he needed the money. And I said, well, maybe this is a chance for me to buy a nice townhouse in Washington. And I did. How you doing, sir? See, they're all guarding things, and that's a specialized dog, I would think. Now, here's the Hill House. You saw the Capitol Hill Hotel. Now, this is the Hill House where I had a little apartment like a studio apartment from 1985 June until we bought a townhouse right across the street in 1988. I think it was just the last year I was in Congress before there was kind of a redistricting. Okay, but let me now. So this is now the Hill House. I had an apartment on the second floor here for many years. And then walking up here, I could see it, 123 D Street, Southeast. And here it is. Beautiful little townhouse. And just want to walk across the street. I remember when I brought Kara and John down, and on weekends they would come here and we would sleep. There it is, 123. Perfect. Okay. I don't want to spend too much time here. People will say, what is he doing taking pictures of our house? So when I sold it to the guy who was a congressman. His name was Porter Goss, a very wealthy congressman. And I didn't want to sell it, but he paid me double for what anyone else wanted to pay because he was a wealthy guy from Florida. And he became our CIA director. And he fixed up that house very nice. And I thought I was going to buy it back, but I never managed to do that. But in any case, this is a beautiful street. I lived on it for a while. It's kind of empty because a lot of people were dissuaded from coming to Washington because of the problems that you saw with the Capitol under siege on the 6th of January. This now, today, is almost 2 weeks later. It's the 19th of January. Tomorrow's going to be the 20th. And that's a Wednesday, and it's going to be Inauguration Day. I'm here without Shirley this time because we had arranged for Fatam Bislimi in Kosovo to take her place. And believe it or not, I get a call 4 o'clock in the morning on Monday before I came down, which was yesterday, Monday I came down, and he was practically in tears because he's at the airport in Austria and they wouldn't let him on the plane to come to America because of some crazy interpretation of the rules from Schengen visas, because Kosovo, that's one of our problems. We get to appeal to the new president, our good friend Joe Biden. One of the problems is no visa liberalization for Kosovo and a group of other small countries in Southeast Europe. And we have to change that because we don't want Albanians only permitted to go to Turkey. And that's basically what's happening here. And that's not right. It's got to change. So here we come up to 2nd Street and D. This was D Street. I just walked up the block. See how beautiful this is here. And see the nice park that I had that I could walk around in. There was right there a gray building. I used to play squash there. There's a squash club. And here we're walking up, and there's that church. You saw it from the other side. St. Peter's Church, beautiful place. I'm now just going to cross the street and go back to the Capitol Hill Hotel, which you can see now just coming up on the right above those trees. And it was in 1985 that I began to serve. And it was 1985 that my brother found for me a hotel suite, and it was pretty reasonable back then in that building right there, the Capitol Hill Hotel, because I was not prepared to win that race. Everybody said I could not win as a so-called, well, a registered Republican in a very Democratic congressional district, which was most of Westchester County. It had a large African-American population, and that's a big point to make here, because I came down with a letter to Joe Biden, which I'm going to present to his staff after his inauguration tomorrow on Wednesday. I'm going to try to get to his chief of staff, Ron Klain, and see if we can get the president to move faster than usual on getting a Medal of Honor for Seaman Dory Miller And there's poetic justice there because it was the black population that elected, well, mainly. You can see what happened in Georgia. 2 races in the Senate went because of the activity of the African-American population, and because in the primaries, the Democratic leader from South Carolina, James Clyburn, supported Joe Biden, and he got most of his support because of that and got elected to Congress. Well, there's the hotel right there. The sun is now starting to go down, and we're back to where I started on this corner with all these gentlemen from the National Guard just waiting to do their best tomorrow to create the maximum security, which they're doing today, as you can see, for the inauguration of Joe Biden as our new president of the United States of America. Here it is, the morning of the inauguration of our new president, Joe Biden, and I'm walking now to the Horseshoe at the Rayburn building because I have to go through there to get across Independence Avenue to where my designated seat is as a special guest, a former member of Congress. Sorry that Shirley's not here with me, but she gave up her seat to Fatam Bislimi, who was not able to board a plane to come here from Austria. But we're making the best of the situation because I'm here, and I'll be sure that I'll be filming this historic occasion, and you'll see President Joe Biden, Albanian's good friend, especially for Kosovo, because of the testimony I gave and the fact that he acknowledged that in 1992 when the Albanian American Civic League brought him to New York, that he was so glad that I testified, and he let me speak for 15 minutes instead of 5. And he said, Joe, I let you speak for 15 minutes because your testimony for the Albanian people, especially those in Kosovo, was so compelling that you not only changed my mind, you changed my heart.
Welcome.
Thank you.
All right, do another one. And let's do one here on the hey, you got it? We got it. Okay, that's the camera's going to work right there. That's the one. No, let's everybody take a seat. Now, you know how we give our friends a warm welcome? And you know what we did with Gilman and with Lantos and with Pell? What did we say? Biden! 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 This is a great honor for us all to have with us in our. As a person, is he a great and wonderful person? He is in a position to do some very important things. And when you're the chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, that means a lot to us as Albanian Americans, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yes. To have the presence and the ear of someone like Senator Biden. He did not come here uninitiated. I can assure you that this fine gentleman has a superb knowledge of what is going on in the Balkans. Let's get on with the discussion.
Joe and Shirley and all of you, thank you. I came for 2 reasons. Obviously, you're helping me, which I truly appreciate, and I came to thank you. But I want to thank you in another way as well. I want to thank you for an education that has literally, not figuratively, changed my life. The truth of the matter is, I have been a United States Senator now for almost 30 years. I was elected when I was 29 years old, and my interest and my passion had always been American foreign policy. And for years and years, my responsibility as a younger senator was primarily Europe, the former Soviet Union, and the Middle East. And I thought I was relatively well informed. And one of the things that happened in that first hearing, Joe, when you came along with others to testify, you made a case that was compelling. I had, in the previous past, had entrees beginning in 1989. The first speech I made on the floor in the United States Senate was before you arrived to speak to me, talking about the oppression of Serbia against not just Albanians, whether they were Bosniaks or Kosovars or whomever, but about Serbia and about Milosevic. And it was in between that time that Joe came and testified before the committee that Senator Pell had set a hearing for. I had already changed my mind about Milosevic, but you helped change my heart.
But that beautiful capital, I have to tell you that I walked up the street for the first time looking at that capital and had chills on January the 3rd, 1985, when no one thought I could get elected. I'm elected, and now I'm walking up that same street. This is 36 years later, and here it is. I still have those chills. My dad came here in 1929, Giuseppe from Recce, and no education, 15 years of age. He's my mother in the Bronx a few years later, and I'm the oldest child. I have a younger brother who's 5 years younger, Richard, and my sister Angel, 2 years younger. So I'm representing them, I'm representing the Albanian people and all repressed people around the world. I also have a letter I'm going to give to Joe Biden staff. Hopefully I'll see him with them on Thursday, his chief of staff, Ronald McLean, for an African-American, Dory Miller, World War II, a sailor, so that he gets the Medal of Honor, which he deserves. So I'm here on several missions. One, to represent and finish the job for the Albanian people. Two, to get the 10th Medal of Honor I've worked on now for 33 years for Dory Miller. And three, since I was the first certified public accountant ever elected to Congress, I'll see if I can leave a message with some of the younger congressmen here to let them change the accounting system so that we really know what the national debt is with all the liabilities that are unfunded. Okay, this is the horseshoe. I'm going to be walking in the building here because I'll be able to then walk out of the building on the right side, probably downstairs, then walk across the street where there are designated seats for former members of Congress, like I am, and I'll be honored to sit there. I made it through the Rayburn building, got my tickets. Here's the ticket right here. But there's the ticket, and so happy to now be walking down the hill to the, well, look at this first. There's the magnificent building that was attacked. Still intact though. I saw it on TV. They restored it, all the damage that was done. It's great. How you doing? So here I am. Now, good, security is all over the place. How you doing, fellas?
How you doing?
Former member from New York. How you doing?
Oh, me too. How are you?
I gotta take these pictures here. Nice. It's a video. Yeah. Gentlemen, good to see you.
How you doing today, sir?
Joe DioGuardi from New York.
Good to see you.
Yeah. How you doing? We're heading towards the where the seats are here, and it's a walk. How you doing? Good morning. Good morning. Former member from New York. Good to see you. Good morning. Wow, what a welcome committee. Isn't that nice? Here's George Washington. It's good to see all this history down here.
4 years later, on March 4th, 1793, Washington's second inauguration happened in Philadelphia, where the government had taken a temporary
good education here besides. Yeah,
How are you, sir?
good. What do you need?
We need to look at your ticket.
There it is.
You're gonna head over there to follow these gentlemen right in front of you.
Thank you. Oh boy. Don't want a trip here. That wouldn't look good. Boy, this when Shirley and I were here for the Obama inauguration. There were thousands and thousands of people filling this area all the way down to the Washington Monument. But look at the staging here. Wow. Let's see here. I guess we're gonna have to sit down here. How you doing? Where do former members sit over here?
I don't know. It says you take Section 8A down there.
Down there.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. It's like the North Star. You got to keep looking for the Capitol. Make sure you're in the right place. Are there seating assignments?
Yeah, it's on your ticket, row 8.
Row. Section 8, 203. Well, I found my seat. Former member right here. Back of me is the Washington Monument. Let's see if I can get that a little bit up. Yeah, I can. Yeah, look at that. Yeah. Shirley and I were here for Obama's inauguration. That was 2008. And there were thousands and thousands of people sitting back there. Now there's nobody. These are new days. So I'm in the section here with the former members, and in front of us are the current members of Congress. But there's the Capitol. Let me see if I can get that in there. There it is. Wonderful. And in about 2 hours, we're going to have the swearing-in ceremony, so I don't want to take too many films here. Well, they got all kinds of monitors here teaching you history. So up there is where the president will be inaugurated, and I'll see if I can get a nice close picture of that when that happens. Yeah, I can easily see it. Let's zoom in. Wow, I think that's where it's going to be. Great. Okay, they're starting the official ceremony of the inauguration. It is very cold.
And does what America always does. Goes forward as a nation. It is first inaugural address in front of this Capitol. The dome was only partially constructed, braced by ropes of steel. He promised he would finish it. He was criticized for spending funds on it during the Civil War. To those critics, he replied, "If the people see the Capitol going on, it is a sign we intend the Union shall go on." And it did, and it will. Generations of Americans gave their lives to preserve our republic in this place. Great legislation to protect civil rights and economic security and lead the world was debated and crafted under this. It's grit. We celebrate the ordinary people doing extraordinary things for our nation. The doctors and nurses on the front line of this pandemic. The officers in the Capitol. A new generation never giving up hope for justice. We celebrate a new president, Joe Biden.
Glory of your name forever. Amen.